Hey there, it's Eric Lodgens, author of The Jelly Beans Don't Fit, a system for abating guilt, fear, and procrastination, and focusing on high-value actions. This system goes from energy at your foundation to actions, the things that you do that define you. One of the tools that I want to provide in this book is the personal KanBan to-do list. KanBan is a Japanese word for billboard, really, and the KanBan was a system that Toyota used in producing their cars, and it's been adopted in this case for a do list. So it's not your average do list. There's some really cool characteristics that I think you'll find useful. The do lists that I've created two templates. I've created two versions. One is for those of you that have Excel. There's a cool program in the Excel version that moves the to-do list tasks back and forth, and I'll show that in a second. The other one I made was for those that don't have Excel, don't want to buy Excel, and it's in Google Sheets, which is a free program offered by Google. Let's first start with the do list on Google Sheets. So to do that, I click on my browser, and I go to this icon here, and I look for documents. Click on this. Click this button here, and you'll see you've got documents, sheets, and slides. What we want is sheets. You want to start a new spreadsheet for the very first time, so let's click on that. When your spreadsheet opens, click File, Open, click on Upload, select a file from your computer. This is the file here, Do List Google Sheets. Now I don't want to go through that process every time I want to look at this spreadsheet. It's something you want to use all the time. So to keep it handy, what I'll do is I'll click on the tab here and I'll place it along my header bar. So next time I want to access this, if I'm working on something else, I can just come to here, click it on, and it'll pop up where you left off. Okay, so the first thing you'll see is you'll see 6 columns with colors along the top. First 4 are your do list. So this is where you describe the tasks that you want to get done. You move your tasks from these 1 of 4 columns into the doing column. So when I'm doing this, I'll look through them all, and I'll determine what are my top 3, and I'll move it into the doing column. And then as I complete them, I will move them in either into the done column if they're completed and they're only a one-time task, or if it's something you do over again, like say you can see under personal and growth I've got run here. So once I complete that, I might move that back to the personal and growth column. So that's an idea of how these headings work in the spreadsheet. The second line across the bottom here is just a reminder why they are important to me. Under personal and growth, you just want to be the best you can be, of course. Family, friends, and community, it feeds your heart and soul. These next 2 columns, I've just arbitrarily made work columns. So this one here is a project. This one here is for routine work. In this spreadsheet, you can change any of these 4 columns to what you want. You just type on it and then or click on it rather, and then type what you want to put there. So let me walk you through an example of this. So it's in the morning time. I want to meditate, so I'll pick that item. I want to get approval from the steering committee, so that's something I want to work on as well. That's important. And I have to meet with the staff, so I want to prepare for that. So those are the 3 things that I've reviewed on this list that are most important to me right now. They're under my doing column, and I'm going to complete them. Before I add more items here, I'm going to get these done. So let's say that I've done that, I've meditated. It's an item that again I'm going to do again, so I'm just going to click on it. I move the hand gripper thing to the top there, move it back to its original spot, and then let's say these 2 items here are items that actually are one-time items and they're just done and out of the way. I'm going to move them over to the done column. Really, it feels really good when you do that, sort of like a pat on your back. Now, I'm going to eventually delete those two and move others there as I get them done. But you can see these holes here, and I'm gonna fix that. And the way you do it with Google Sheets is you want to add on a little program that'll help you do that. So under add-ons, you'll click that. You're going to click Get Add-ons. Under Search Add-ons, you're going to type in Power Tools, and it's going to look for that particular one. Here it is, Power Tools. You press the button here, free. You're going to allow it access to the spreadsheet. Okay, now under add-ons, you'll see it here. That's called the Power Tools, and you just press the Start button. And you can see the tool is shown up on the right-hand side here. Now, getting back to this, to fill the holes, or to actually move it up, this item here up, you're going to click this icon here. You press that, and you can see it's moved the item up. So I'll do the same over here. So that's how you use the KanBan, the personal KanBan do list. What I've got down below here is I've got two tabs. The tab that we're in right now is the actual do list. Over here you'll see instructions. If you click on that, you'll see kind of the important instructions to get you working on your do list. So if you have trouble when you're on it, just refer back to here and it should answer most of your questions. The last thing I'm going to mention here on Google Sheets is that one of the advantages over this file versus the Excel file is this one's really easy to share. So if you had this at work, for example, and you had 3 or 4 projects on the go, you could actually share this with your staff, and they'd all have access to this, and they could all update the do list. It's a really powerful tool. So I really recommend that you think about exploring that as an option. Now I've called up the Excel file, and I just want to show you the differences between this and the Google Sheets. The first thing you'll notice is that when you load this up on Excel, you'll get a security warning. The macros have been disabled. The macros are essentially programs inside of the spreadsheet that manipulate the cells. So what you're going to want to do is press Options, Enable this content, and press OK. And you're going to get a little reminder note. This is something I programmed to remind you that if you press Control and E, that's a hot button. You press Control button and E button together to run the program, and I'll demonstrate that for you. So I'm going to pick 3 things that I want to move in the doing column. I want a nap. Okay, I'm going to click that. That's important to me. I'm going to schedule my boy Jimmy his hockey in my calendar, and I'm going to work on that overview for my boss. Okay, it's something that he needs tomorrow. So those are the 3 things. Now, one of the things, the Control E key will not work if you've got an active cell. So that cursor flashing beside the X is an active cell. I got to press Enter. Okay. Now, if I press Control E together, watch what happens. You'll see those 3 items will move into the doing column, and there's no gaps that you have to fill. So that's a pretty cool feature. Now, let's say these things are done. The nap is something that, yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing that again. So let's press Back to List column. These are checklist columns. I didn't point that out, but each one of these columns has a checkbox column. So I'm going to click Back to List, press the X there. I've done this. It'll never have to be done again, and then I've completed this task. It's a one-off as well. Okay, so those are 3 items. Now I press Control E again. One went back. You'll see it here. Nap 20 minutes. It's gone back to this particular column, and the other 2 are in the done column. Okay, let's say I want to get rid of these for good. I press an X, press X, Control E, boom, they're gone. It's cleaned up. Thing to note, if you make a change with Control E and you move the cell around, you can't go back on that. You can't press this back arrow. It won't work with a macro. Just something to remember. Last thing to point out, under Instructions, there's 2 tabs below here, Instructions and the list. So if you click on the Instructions, there's all of the things that I've written down that are useful to use this file. If you don't have the two files, the Excel file and the Google Sheets file, then just click below on the link and it'll connect you to my book that I have for sale on Kindle. If you you don't have to buy it, but if you just click on to the front page there, you'll see an excerpt from inside the book, and inside there's a hyperlink where you can get those two files. Thanks very much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.